So today we're diving into 4 transfer links that have been revealed by ExWHUEmployee. Given that he's the source of these links, we have to sit up and take them seriously. Now, I'm going to go through 3 of the players first, and I'm going to save the most solid, most detailed, and most realistic link until last. This is the one with the strongest connection to our current recruitment strategy, so stay tuned. The players that we're going to look at in order are Kim Min-soo. He's Girona's exciting South Korean winger. We're going to look at Denil Castillo, who is an Ecuadorian central midfielder at Midfield. We're going to look at his club teammate, Dario Osorio, who is a Chilean winger. And the strongest link of all is last but by no means least, and that is Ísak Jóhannesson. He's an Icelandic midfielder at Cologne in the Bundesliga. Now, these players we're said to be actively monitoring as part of our new recruitment direction under both Nils Koppen and Nuno Espírito Santo. In this video, we're going to break down who they are, how they play, and why we're looking at them. So the first player straight out of the gate is Kim Min-soo. Now, he is a South Korean winger born on the 19th of January 2006. He plays primarily on the left, but he can also operate on the right or as an attacking midfielder. He's 5 foot 10 inches tall, right-footed, currently represented by the agency CAA Stella. On transfer market, he's currently valued at 5 million euros. It's important to note, though, that this may not reflect his real-life valuation. In terms of his career path, he was developed at CF Dam. He joined Girona in 2022. He broke into their youth and then senior setups, and last season was loaned out to La Liga 2 team FC Andorra. He's quick, he's direct, he's fearless. He's exactly the type of winger who commits defenders and creates chaos. Now, he impressed during his loan spell at Andorra, and already in his young career, he's had exposure to the UEFA Youth League, the Copa del Rey, La Liga, and the UEFA Champions League. Now, he has been mentioned as a genuine name on our radar, especially as we're looking at long-term attacking depth. Now, if you appreciate the content that we're producing here in the West Ham Massive, it would really help us tremendously if you could tap the like button. This is what spurs the YouTube algorithms into life and pushes this content out to places otherwise it might not reach. Please also leave a comment in the section below, and why not consider sharing this on your social media platform. Last but by no means least, you might be noticing there's a QR code in the top left-hand corner. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please consider reaching and getting your mobile device and scanning that. It will take you to our YouTube subscription page. Subscribing to the channel is completely free of charge, data safe, and it only takes a couple of seconds of your time. It just helps to grow the channel into something bigger and better than you currently find it. And we thank you very much indeed for your support in this matter. Let's move on to the next player. So, Denil Castillo. He's a 22-year-old Ecuadorian central midfielder currently playing at Midfield in Denmark. He's 6 foot 2 inches tall, right-footed, and his transfer market valuation is estimated to be 3 million euros. Once again, take that with a pinch of salt. And he's a full Ecuadorian international. If we look at his career path, he started his career at FC Quito, and he moved then to Shakhtar Donetsk. He had a loan spell at Partizan Belgrade, and then moved on to Midfield, which is where he is now. Now, he's said to be a physically dominant midfielder with strong ball-winning capabilities, known for his good defensive positioning, secure passing, his ability to break up play, and he has a high athletic ceiling. We're said to admire him as part of our long-term midfield rebuild, and he fits Koppen's desire to add young, athletic, high-ceiling midfielders into the squad, and he's exactly the type of profile that we want to develop over the next few seasons. Third player we're going to look at is Dario Osorio. He's a 22-year-old Chilean winger. He's also playing at Midfield. He's 5 foot 10 inches tall. He's left-footed, and he can play as a right winger or an attacking midfielder. His transfer market valuation is 7 million euros. Once again, take that with a pinch of salt. And he is a full Chilean international. In terms of his playing style, as I say, he's a left-footed, inverted winger, known for his strong dribbling, his excellent ball carrying, cutting inside from the right and getting shots away, creativity in the final third, and flair and unpredictability. I like that in a player. Now, he's another player that we're said to admire, and he also fits Koppen's focus on young, high-ceiling attackers who are already adapting to European football. Now, I believe that because they've cut these rumors, these links have come from ExWHUEmployee, I believe these to be genuine scouting targets and not hype. A lot of the links that we've had over the last month or so, I believe, have been exaggerated or agent-driven. But I believe that these players, because they've been mentioned by X, I believe they will have behind them a little bit more credence. They'll have some real monitoring, they'll have some real data analysis, they'll have real suitability for Nuno's system, and they'll also have some real alignment with Koppen's recruitment model. However, the final player that we're about to discuss is the most substantial link of all, the one with the strongest structural logic behind it. And I'd like to introduce you to Ísak Jóhannesson. Now, he is a 23-year-old Icelandic midfielder currently on the books at Cologne. He's a left-footed player, 5'10" tall, and can operate as both a central midfielder and an attacking midfielder. And some of his key details are he's rated at transfer market as a valuation of 2.5 million euros. Once again, take a pinch of salt with that. Cologne have him on a long-term deal until 2030, so they have control over his career for the next 4 years. He's a full Icelandic international. However, little interesting factoid is he was actually born in Sutton Coldfield in England, meaning he counts as a domestic player. And if you remember the former Aston Villa, Wolverhampton Wanderers, Leicester City and Burnley player Joey Goodjohnson, well, that's his dad. Now, also, there's a little bit of a subplot here because Tim Steidten, our former director of football, is the current director of staff planning and recruitment at Cologne. Now, it was mentioned a few days ago that Edson Alvarez is attracting some attention and Tim Steidten is said to want him at Cologne. Now, because there's obviously that link there, and now we're said to be also looking at Ísak Jóhannesson, I'm wondering if this is going to create a natural pathway for a potential deal involving Alvarez going to Cologne and Jóhannesson coming the other way. Now, this doesn't mean it's actually happening, but I believe it's a realistic mechanism that could explain why we're looking closely at Jóhannesson. Now, it's also another little subplot is that Jóhannesson is a potential long-term replacement for Matheus Fernandes. So his position, his age, his profile, his development curve, his tactical fit, his contract situation, and the Steidten connection all line up with our need to replace Fernandes in the medium to long term. Now, he's been highlighted as a serious player by X, not just a speculative link. And I believe some of the reasons are his domestic status, his technical profile, his versatility, his suitability for Nuno's midfield structure, the Steidten connection, the possibility of structuring a deal involving Edson Alvarez, and his suitability as Matheus Fernandes' successor. So amongst the four players that we've discussed here, this is the one with the strongest and most detailed connection to our current plans. So when you look across all four names, a clear pattern emerges. We're targeting young, high-ceiling players who fit the long-term rebuild under Nils Koppen and Nuno Espírito Santo. Kim Min-soo, Denil Castillo, and Dario Osorio are all early-stage scouting targets, players the clubs admire, players who fit the mold, and players who could become options depending upon how the window develops. But the most substantial link, and the one with the real structure behind it, is Ísak Jóhannesson. His domestic status, his contract situation, his profile, and the Tim Steidten connection at Cologne all make him the most realistic and most meaningful of the four. And with us needing a long-term successor to Matheus Fernandes, Jóhannesson is the one who seems to fit that role perfectly. Now, whether any of these deals happen remains to be seen, but these are creditable, scouted, and aligned with the club's recruitment strategy, exactly as X has alluded to. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, do me a favor, drop a like on the stream and put a comment in the section below, and I'll answer as many of them as I can. Why not consider sharing this on your social media platforms? And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, if I can just gently draw your attention in the top left-hand corner to the QR code. If you get out your mobile device and give that a scan, it will take you to our YouTube subscription page. Rest assured, subscribing is free of charge, data safe, and it only takes a couple of seconds of your time. It just helps grow the channel into something bigger and better than it is as you find it right now. Thank you very much for your support, and we'll see you again soon. Come on, you Irons.